On everyone. So yesterday the Los Angeles Lakers took an L to the Dallas Mavericks, 127 to 125, and to me this was a very frustrating game. Look, games happen where random guys end up shooting the lights out. Dante Exum, right? The game plan was to kind of let him just shoot open threes. He was like 8 for 27 on the season before this game. And of course, he basically equaled his entire three-point total in just one game against the Lakers. Sometimes that's how it goes, right? They ran a similar defensive scheme against the Indiana Pacers, and it worked out. This time it didn't. But it's not even so much like the defense scheme or that Dallas shot the lights out. It was more so in the manner in which we lost this. This was, again, another game on the road against a upper team in the standings, and the Lakers ended up failing to win this game and close it out. I mean, this was a very winnable game. When Anthony Davis hit that three to send this game, or to put this game up 2 going into the fourth quarter, I really thought the Lakers were going to kind of run away with it, and they just didn't. And credit the Dallas Mavericks. Credit, Dante Exum. Credit, Luka, obviously. Grant Williams, also, he was 5 of 7 from 3. Credit this team win by the Dallas Mavericks. The Lakers kind of went back to several old habits, which was frustrating, right? Giving up second chance points, offensive rebounds. They gave up 12 offensive boards, which led to other opportunities, especially since the Lakers shot a better percentage from the field than Dallas did. Also, free throws, right? We missed 6 free throws. You make half of the free throws that you missed, all of a sudden, you win the game, right? We were 12 of 18 from the free throw line, and Dallas was 18 of 21 from the free throw line. But look, rough game. Got another game today against the Spurs. But one of the things that I want to talk about in regards to this game is the race for the 6th man of the year. So thus far, Austin Reaves and Tim Hardaway Jr. have been the 2 head and shoulders 6th men. One of these 2 are very likely going to win 6th man unless something crazy happens with some of the other guys. Austin Reaves, Tim Hardaway Jr. are the 2 guys that are just, one of them is very likely going to win it. And with the Dallas Mavericks and the Lakers battling it out and having an Austin Reaves versus Tim Hardaway Jr., Tim Hardaway Jr. just had a far better game, right? I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr. went berserk in this game. And look, Austin Reaves had a very nice game as well. So I don't want to make it sound like Reaves was some bum and Tim Hardaway Jr. was just amazing. No, like both guys showed up for this game. You saw the competition in this game. Both guys were going at each other at times. They had a stretch even where one guy hit a 3 and then Reaves hits a 3 and then Tim Hardaway hits a 3. So like this was absolutely a terrific just back and forth game between these 2 guys. But when you have a margin that is very small as far as the possibility of who's going to win 6th man of the year, like literally like every game it flips back and forth between Reaves and Tim Hardaway Jr. That's how tight it is. So the things that end up, if it continues to be tight as we move towards the end of the season, the tiebreakers and the things that the committee and everyone's going to look at when they're voting for who should get the 6th man of the year, what's going to happen is they're going to look at these matchups where these 2 guys went head-to-head. And they're going to look at Dallas so far winning 2 of the games. They play Dallas one more time. But even if the Lakers win that game, unless Reaves is like ridiculous, like let's say Reaves drops 35 in that game or, 30 in that game, something like that. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. has like a bad game. He's like 2 of 12. Then maybe that kind of persuades things and kind of changes the tide back in Austin Reaves' favor just because it's more recent, right? So it's just kind of sits in the memory more. You get that kind of recency bias. So he's really going to need to have a big game in the next matchup against Dallas. But you look at Tim Hardaway Jr., the guy, if he won sixth man of the year right now, no one would be shocked. He's been very good for the Dallas Mavericks in that six-man role. He's really embraced that six-man role for the Dallas Mavericks. And like you look at this game, 37 minutes, gave you 32 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 of 21 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 1 steal. The guy just, I mean, for a team that was lacking their star in Kyrie Irving, Tim Hardaway Jr. stepped up in that moment and played like the star that they needed him to be. Now, look, I don't think that this is something to where he just completely ran away with it. Like, I don't think, like, there's no way Reaves can come back from this. But, I mean, you look at Tim Hardaway Jr. and the way he's playing so far this year. I mean, he's averaging just under 18 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 42% from the 43% from 3-point range, or from the field, right? And from 3-point range is where he's really just like, Reaves has struggled a lot from 3 this year. But you look at Tim Hardaway Jr., in his 3-point percentage, he's shooting 38.4% on 9.1 attempts per game. So he's been very consistent, very good for the Dallas Mavericks. Now, when you look at the other side with Austin Reaves has been good. He's getting great again. Like, he's been much better the last, like, handful of games or so. But prior to that, he was really hot and cold. He wasn't terrible. Like, a lot of people were blowing just the level of play from Austin Reaves out of proportion. Don't get me wrong. He had some games where he was really bad. But for the most part, he's been good this year. And by any other standard, he would be getting praised. But because we have this expectation and this level of play that we saw from Austin Reaves last season, there's this, like, there's this expectation of, like, hey, we need that again. But I mean, you look at Austin Reaves this year, he's averaging 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 2.4 turnovers per game. He's shooting 86.3% from the free throw line. He's shooting 55.9% from 2-point range. So basically 60%, which he's actually down from last year. It's the 3-point shooting that's just been atrocious, right? He's shooting 33% from 3-point range. But his stats overall and his efficiency has been better than Tim Hardaway Jr.'s, right? And then even, like, when you look at this game, as great as Tim Hardaway was in this game, like I mentioned, 32 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 of 21 from the field, 5 of 10 from 3. If you look at Austin Reaves, right, 22 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists. So he had 10 fewer points than Tim Hardaway Jr., but he had more rebounds, more assists. He also shot 50% of the field, 7 of 14 from the field, and 4 of 7 from 3. So he, again, shot better percentage from 3-point range this game, shot a better field goal percentage overall this game. So again, he was more efficient and took 7 fewer shots, where at the efficiency in which he was shooting, he would have scored more than 32 points, assuming that it was equal. Now, Austin Reaves, as I mentioned, has improved mightily from the 3-point range, right? He's been bad this season. But if he can find that stroke again, and he can finally get back to being that, because this is a guy that shot 40% from 3-point range last year. So if he can get back to being that 40% 3-point shooter, then I think that will help a lot. That's really going to elevate his scoring output, his efficiency, his effectiveness, right? He's going to help impact and elevate the Lakers. So I do think Austin Reaves still has room for improvement and still has areas in which he can be better, because we've seen him be better. I mean, even in, like I said, this last, like, 5 games or so, he's been much better than he was in the beginning of the season. And he's very likely starting to find his stride, starting to get more comfortable, right? Him coming in that 6-man role. I really want to see Austin Reaves win that 6-man of the year. But if it is close, right? Like, let's say it's like, man, we, like, it's a split decision, so to speak, on Reaves and Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's like, okay, we need a factor that'll break this tie. I mean, you look at Tim Hardaway Jr. and just the performance of this game, and it's really hard to not have this be a thing, right? Where it's like, okay, well, we got to give it to Tim Hardaway because he's won the matchup, right? He's been better in the matchup. Where if Austin Reaves won this game, then I think it would be the opposite. Even though he didn't score as many points, I still think that it'd be like, okay, well, he didn't score as many points, but he got more assists, he got more rebounds, all of that, right? And you look at the second matchup, Reaves was 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. This was the first matchup against Dallas. And then shot 7 of 14 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. So, again, poor three-point shooting. But Tim Hardaway Jr. was terrible in that game. He had 7 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, was 2 of 10 from the field, and 2 of 8 from three-point range. So, if Tim Hardaway Jr. in the final matchup has another game like that, Reaves continues to shine and has, a 20-point game or whatever, and the Lakers win that one, then I think he can kind of swing the boat. I just have my concerns that Tim Hardaway Jr. is kind of been in the lead for the majority of the season, and if it comes down to like, okay, we need to make a decision, what should be the deciding factor, I have my concerns that Tim Hardaway Jr. winning the last 2 matchups, maybe not so much on an individual scale, but just performing well and pulling out the win, that'll be a factor. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass a question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think that this is a cause of concern for Austin Reaves' bid for 6th Man of the Year? Do you think it's way too early to do that, to worry about it? I mean, obviously Austin Reaves, if he starts going crazy, then it can change. There's definitely a lot that can change. But my concern is, like I mentioned, is if it's close. But again, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.